These are my jeweler's benches today, but before I got to this point, I started with simple DIY options and wooden kitchen trolleys that I adapted as my benches. Actually, this is how I started. At this point, I've just opened my Etsy shop and was selling beaded jewelry, mostly bracelets and necklaces. I liked to sit on the floor and on my couch. My workshop, quote unquote, consisted of a single storage box that I filled with my beads and pliers, and I was using desks and kitchen counters as my workspace. But that's not why you're here, so let's get into our main subject. Benches. My very first one was a simple desk from Ikea. I've attached my bench pin on the side and I was able to do some simple sewing this way. It was far from comfortable, as you can imagine, and of course my position wasn't correct and it just wasn't the best option, mainly because obviously it was too low, and for sewing, ideally your bench peg should be at the height of your chest. I was soldering on a table on a side using this simple setup, baking tray as a base for my tools, which also protected the table from the heat. I mean, it worked just fine, but it wasn't ideal. After some research, I decided to get a wooden kitchen trolley from Ikea, the smaller one. It's 85 centimeters tall, so it was more comfortable for sewing and there was more room on it to store my tools. It was much more solid than a desk too. I liked the look and the size of it. It was honestly a great choice right at the beginning when I was still testing the waters. Most of the time you can find this trolley second-hand, but even getting a new one won't break the bank. I believe at this moment it's around $120. As you can see, I do have my soldering station on the top, which I usually move to the front when I'm soldering. But my pickle pot is there and also my tripod is there, so if I have to solder I would have to take it up here, so I can't have everything on top of the table, so sometimes it's just not that comfortable. Once I outgrew this trolley, I've decided to swap it for another kitchen trolley, also from Ikea, but this time a bigger one. As you know, this is my current bench. It's a smaller kitchen trolley table, but I was keeping my eye on Gumtree for past few months and finally this one came up. And my personal tip would be, if you have a chance, get this one in the first place. Maybe you'll be able to find it second-hand. It's a bit taller than the previous one, 90 centimeters tall. There's also more room and there are 2 drawers. As you can see, the one that I have looks tiny. It's not that tiny, it's just the perspective, but it definitely looks a bit smaller than this one. It's like half smaller and it's also shorter. So this one's taller, which is so good because it will be much easier to sew and just work on it while standing. It's overall a great solution, which you can customize. Some makers told me they cut out some space for their legs, which I think is perfect as the shelves may be getting in the way slightly. I've had this Ikea trolley bench for some time and I really enjoyed working on it. I've sold my smaller trolley, by the way. I thought I didn't need it anymore, but today I would have kept it as a stamping table and a smaller bench for heavier tools and extra storage. That's exactly why I bought another one when I moved to Poland, and I use it for my rolling mill and bench polisher as well as other tools. One more thing about these kitchen trolleys. Another reason why I love them was because of the fact that they are solid wood, which makes them not only sturdier but also much nicer looking. I know aesthetics may not be important for everyone, but I did enjoy the look of the wooden trolleys, so that was a perk for me. After a while, I felt like I was outgrowing this bench and I also wanted to have a more comfortable space for sewing since that is my favorite job. I wanted to find something simple and inexpensive which I could customize to my needs. That meant finding a bench top with a cutout or something that I could cut out myself. At this point, I was still looking at second-hand and DIY options because I wasn't ready to purchase anything brand new by myself. And this is what I found. Again, and I promise this is not an ad for Ikea, but this table happens to be from there as well. The tabletop is just a regular desktop and the legs are both wooden and adjustable, which made me very excited because I liked the look of them and the total height of 93 centimeters they provided. Having lots of space for my legs was a game changer and I was finally sitting in a correct position for sewing. While this desk is great for lighter jobs like soldering, shaping or sewing and filing, I need to warn you that this may not be the best for heavy tools. For that, you'd at least need a wooden bench top and fixing it together with the legs using screws is a must. This bench marks the last DIY bench that I owned because the next two benches are professional wooden jeweler's benches. One is by Thurston and the other by Pepe Tools, and this is my final setup for now. Currently, it consists of these two benches plus a smaller Ikea kitchen trolley and a simple Ikea desk. I use my desk for organizing stones and supplies and most importantly for designing. The trolley holds my heavy tools and I work between two benches. It's incredible to look back at how it all progressed and where I ended up being. I never imagined I'd have a professional jeweler's bench, let alone two. But thanks to this channel and all of you, my viewers, I was given an opportunity to test and promote them, which is something I'm beyond grateful for. A bench like this is an investment and I know very well that it may not be for everyone. But if it's something you want, then I can assure you that it's worth working towards and it really helps. That being said, the bench honestly doesn't matter as much as your own creativity, your ideas and designs, and where you bring them to life. Make your space comfortable and inspiring first and foremost, somewhere where you can feel the flow and immerse yourself in your creative work. Now it's time for some of your comments. Susan, I've been dying to try silver clay. I bought a couple of books to read on a rainy day. That's lovely, and honestly, me too, because as you may know, I purchased silver clay so long ago, but I just didn't have the time to dig into it yet. So this is something you can look forward to because I am finally going to get started. Well. No, don't worry, that is fine because I know that sometimes you can just forget about subscribing. But honestly, if you guys haven't subscribed yet and would like to see my videos, it would mean a lot to me if you did because it's always so much easier and you can get notified when I post. This was a great comment regarding whether jewelry is more seasonal or if you can wear it all year round considering your mood or your outfit. So I just really loved reading this, Nancy, and I agree with you. Honestly, I am the same. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and thank you so much for commenting. And that will be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!